What's up, guys? We're going to be working on this M50 manifold today. This is what I've been running on the car since I did the swap, and it works great. But what we need to do is modify a few things on it so it can work with our new turbo setup. Now, this already has some slight modifications to it to use some OBD2 accessories on the OBD1 manifold. For example, I have an E39 fuel rail that has a built-in fuel pressure regulator on the back of the rail itself, so I don't have a remote fuel pressure regulator mounted on the chassis somewhere, and for our power goals, this will work just fine. Now I'm also running an OBD2 throttle body, which bolts right up. I think if you just go to M50manifold.com, I'll put the link down below in the description. They make a custom gasket to help seal these two, so it'll work just like the factory. Now what we need to do is add a couple vacuum ports on this manifold for things like a boost gauge and a possible future blow-off valve. I don't know if I'll be running one for the time being. And also for a map sensor. The ECU that I'm using does not use a mass airflow sensor. It'll use a map sensor that just pulls from a vacuum source in the manifold. Now before we do any of the new modifications, let's get everything disassembled off this manifold. First thing we want to do is take the fuel rail off. Set this aside. We'll put these bolts back in here so I don't lose them. We will remove the check valve for the brake booster. And then we will remove the throttle body. I believe these are normally 10mm bolts, but I swapped them out with Allen heads a few years back. And this is that custom gasket from M50 manifold I was talking about. Now what I've also done in the past is epoxied in this OBD1 fitting here. Now I like this because it already has a vacuum source off the side, so that's one less fitting that I need to add to the manifold. And I don't have to worry about this one leaking for the mere fact that I already epoxied it in. Now there are companies like Rally Road that sell a leak-free fitting here that's meant for boost applications, but this will obviously be good enough for what I need. So what we need to do is drill and JB weld a couple of these vacuum fittings onto here. And I've been looking around for a good spot, and I think what I'm going to do is put them right here where these holes are from the factory. Well, they're not actually holes, they're blocked, but there's two ports right here. I think it'll be the perfect spot to put these 90s and just point them straight down. So what we'll do first is pilot out these holes. Then we'll step up to a bigger size. Now that we got them drilled out, we'll see if we can make some threads. We're gonna do something kind of like that. We will then mix up some JB weld. Okay, there's one. We'll apply it on the other one. Then we'll take this outside, give it a good rinse to get all the shavings out of there. Okay, so now that we got the manifold rinsed out and mostly dry, we're going to reinstall everything back on the manifold. We'll put the custom gasket on the throttle body. Stick that on the manifold. Then we will install the check valve for the brake booster. And I'm still waiting for my new fuel injectors, but for the time being, we'll remove the stock ones. And we are not going to be running this same fuel line. I need to get a different hose that's rated for E85. And now that we've got all the clips removed, you can just twist and pull these out. We have the intake manifold modified, and that's just waiting for new fuel injectors and fuel rail. The next thing that we're going to do is replace these rubber hoses on the idle control valve with a couple silicone ones from Rally Road. Now I really don't think that this 45 needs a hose clamp. It's barbed and it's on there good, but I have extra ones, so why not? So that's it for this intake manifold. That's all we're gonna do. When the time comes to install this, I will put new gaskets on here and get it mounted up. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and stay tuned for the next one. See ya.